Good evening.
Hi guys, it's a little earlier than usual.
Yeah. We're coming to you live tonight from Wine Country Cottage.
Yeah.
I'm Nicole with Junk Love Boutique.
And I'm Ashton with Wine Country Cottage. We're here this evening in one of our bedrooms. My husband built this headboard. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I had to showcase that. So tonight we're going to talk about the wedding trail.
Yes, the wedding trail is Sunday?
Saturday,
the 23rd.
Hold on, guys. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
We might have to double check that.
I'm looking right
Nicole's going to look.
It's the 23rd. I'm not sure. It's Saturday. I was making sure. Well, I thought it was Sunday,
Okay.
but
some of them are on Sunday, so check the dates and times. So a wedding trail,
Oh, you're good.
is 3 times a year.
Yeah, the dates so far for this year are February 23rd and April 14th.
Right.
And I want to say there's usually one earlier in the year, but I think it got canceled because of snow.
Yeah, I think there's usually one in each season. So,
Yeah.
Summer, winter, and
There'll probably be another
spring.
one towards September.
Right, yeah. I think
So
that's
watch
when
for
usually-
dates too if you are planning a wedding. If you are planning a wedding, if you're engaged, if you have your date and know where you're going to have a venue, the wedding trail is still really cool because it's kind of one of those things that you can go to all the different places in Hermann, and they are going to have vendors. So maybe you want to just check out the different vendors, you want to taste some cake samples, just
Right.
get an idea of what's out there. You can do that, as well as maybe find your venue if you don't have one.
Yeah, so a wedding trail is, go at your own pace.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to list all the different places that are on the wedding trail. It's from 11 to 3:30. Yeah, 11 to 3:30 on those dates that we're going to post in the comments. And so, just to get us started, if anybody knows what one of these are, it's called a wedding binder. And look how thick it is and full of stuff.
And if you've planned a wedding or you're working on planning a wedding,
you need one of these.
Yeah, you know what you're in for.
Especially when you go to the wedding trail, because you'll pick up brochures,
Right.
contracts, pricings, and just all kinds of things. So it'd be good to maybe start one before the wedding trail.
Yeah. Get your dividers in there and all your tabs in
Right.
order before you get totally overwhelmed.
If you need any assistance, just let me know. I'm well versed in this baby. Okay, should we get into the list?
Yeah, let's get into the
And
list.
if you have questions, please let us know.
Yeah.
We're just kind of probably ramble these off and have some fun in the process.
And basically the main, idea of the wedding trail is for future brides and their families to tour the wedding and reception venues and then just visit with vendors along the way. Make a connection with them. Talk about your ideas and what you want. See if they can make that happen. I know in today's day and age we all have different ideas of what we want. You have a different
Yes.
venue. I prefer outdoor venues, so some of the ones on our list might not be for you, but other ones are. So you can go and check all of those places out and really see which one is going to be a best fit for your taste and your personality, and then also how many people that you're going to invite
Right.
to your wedding, because some of these can't hold 250 people.
Yeah,
So it's kind of up to what you want.
right. So we have really small venues to really large venues.
Right. We have a really good variety of wedding venues and the vendors themselves in Hermann. So if you're wanting to come to Hermann for that destination wedding, you can pretty much plan the whole thing using solely Hermann vendors.
Absolutely. And I know the vendors here, like the what do you call them? The venues.
Mm-hmm.
They are there to help you perfect your wedding. I mean,
Right.
any question you have, they're the ones that are physically here, where you may be coming from St. Louis, Kansas City, or wherever, where they're going to know what's here and what's available,
Right.
or what you might need to look elsewhere for.
Yeah, they're excellent help at planning exactly what you want for your day.
Right. All right.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Okay. So I have a list of venues for the ceremony and reception that can hold both, and sometimes even the rehearsal dinner as well. So first on my list is Hermann Hill. I'll just go. So they have a chapel that's inside, And then oh my goodness. So they have a chapel inside, and then they have the river bluff, which is outside. It's really cool. I think that's one of their newest ones, where it's overlooking the Missouri River, and
they have a gazebo out there that's overlooking.
So there's the river bluff, and then up higher is the gazebo. Yeah. So it's really cool.
So you have an option. You can either get married inside in the chapel. That's a huge backdrop of windows that overlooks the river, or you can get married outside in the gazebo with outdoor seating and the whole deal, and then you can have your reception right there, and they fit how many people? 250
at least, maybe more than that. And what's really cool about Hermann Hill also is so they have everything that you need, from like tablecloths to chair decorations.
Right.
They
chair
have
covers and
what do you call them? The people that run your wedding.
Oh, like wedding coordinators.
Wedding coordinators. I mean, they are kind
She's
of
asking me, the person who's not married, and I don't plan to have a big wedding, so...
Nicole's engaged. I got married in 2017. If you want a backstory, Wes and I got married at Little Piney, which is on the wedding trail, and it's on our list.
Absolutely picture perfect.
I'm a very, very biased, and I absolutely loved our wedding. Yeah. So it was...
Little Piney is an experience in themselves. I mean, all the different venues here in town are amazing because they are most of them are historic. They have the old charm of the German stuff, but Little Piney, if you're wanting an outdoor wedding, it was gorgeous. On the other hand, if you want a Hermann wedding and you don't want to do it expensive, we do have a courthouse, which is pretty much what we're opting for. So
do the courthouse, then find a little reception area. Yeah. We got it all. Yeah. Got it all.
No matter what you want, we can hook you up.
Yeah. But to go into just a little bit more about Little Piney, so they have indoor spot for you to get married. They have a gazebo by their lake, and then they also have a huge pavilion that you can also get married under, like if it's sprinkling rain or something. I could go on and on and on.
And they just redid their lodge area, so you can stay. Basically, you rent it for the whole weekend, and you can have your rehearsal dinner there the night before. Your girls can stay inside the lodge, can kick the guys outside in the cabin. Yeah. And then wake up and everything is right there for the next day.
Right. So you actually get it from, I think it was Friday at 11 until Sunday at 11. Yeah. So you could even open gifts there, and on Sunday morning it was just amazing. Okay. Next on my list is Sweet Clover Farm, which is also an outdoor venue.
Yeah. And so with your outdoor venues, there is going to be a time period where obviously they're not going to be open. Little Piney's, I don't know if it's April that they open back up.
I want to say they're closed from I
think April through November is their typical.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm sure Sweet Clover is somewhere in the same vicinity of that.
Although I just saw that they're actually redoing their barn, so they're enclosing it. So check in with them if you want a springtime or getting into fall, winter wedding.
Right. They have a very pretty place out there. I think you can pretty much get married wherever you want, like in front of their old barn, out in their field. And then they have a really cool outdoor area that the little bar is under, and you can put your really cool DJ and stuff outside with string lights. It's really pretty.
And they also have areas for the bride and groom to get ready separately.
Yeah, they're really cool.
I don't know if Chelsea does she include hair with those packages?
I'm not sure, but so the daughter of the people that own Sweet Clover Farm, she is a hairstylist, so I know that several people from the area have used her whenever they're getting their hair and stuff done. So maybe look into that. If you are planning to book with Sweet Clover, that could be an option for you. Yeah. Like I said, literally, if you are booking a venue, ask them if you have any questions, because you never know what they might offer or who they're really good associates with, as far as some of the different places have certain cater companies that they work with, and some have their favorite bakery for the cake, or just ask them. I'm sure they're more than willing to help you.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Even as far as table rentals, for your tablecloth and stuff. There's a lot of different places in the area.
Yes. Do not do like me. I went to I didn't really know of anywhere here in town, and I had to go to Columbia, and I spent way more than I ever thought I was ever going to spend on tablecloth. Yeah. Tablecloth,
that guys. You're renting. That you're renting.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
She's venting over here.
Uh,
Wedding days, do's and don'ts.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Okay, so up next, you have Stonehill Winery on your list.
I do. Okay.
Their place is very pretty. Can you actually physically have your ceremony there too?
I think so. So, because they had their wine cellar listed.
Oh,
So I think you can have like an intimate ceremony in the wine cellar
gotcha.
as well as...
They have their outdoor covered area, which is where the only place that I've been as far as like a
Yeah.
reception area.
Mhm. But I'm sure I think they even have the vineyards open if you want to do an intimate setting there.
Again, it depends on the size of your party that you're
Yeah.
inviting.
Right.
But Stonehill is very pretty. If you've ever been to Stonehill, just imagine it for a wedding. The whole property is overlooking vineyards, and then the pavilion area in the summertime or in the nicer weather, they can open it completely up to where you're looking out over the vineyard. It's really pretty.
Right. Yep. And then next on my list, I have the Rotunda at the city park. It's an octagon-shaped building, and I guess they redid it a few years ago, or they renovated it a little bit, and it's
really pretty.
It's really pretty, and it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I want to say it's $75.
Yes.
So it's really cheap, but it's really pretty for where it is.
And it'll hold quite a few people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more of like, it's very pretty, but it's more of like a rustic style simplicity to it. And they're gonna provide all the chairs and the tables, so all you have to do is go in and decorate.
Right. I actually have on my list here that they hold 250 people, which maybe they do, but it is a smaller building.
Yeah.
But you could also probably have it outside
If it's nice out, open the doors and do it
Yeah.
a little bit outside.
Yep.
Okay, so who's next on your list? Because your list is different than mine.
And then Hermann Hof. Oh, I'm kind of just skipping around.
Okay.
Hermann Hof Winery, so you can have your ceremony and reception there as well. The one that I'm most familiar with is their fest hall, which is just kind of catty-cornered from the winery itself down the street.
And that's going to be another bigger venue. So if you have a lot of people that you're inviting, that's another good one. And it's right downtown in the thick of things. So if you're wanting to be in the middle of all of it, that's a good spot. And then Hermann Hof actually has a lot of different places that you can rent to, as far as for your guests that are coming in out of town. They can just all stay right there.
Yep, that's right.
And then I don't know what all else they have.
I'm not sure. I should have done a little more research.
Well, they're gonna have a wedding coordinator too that'll be able to help you with anything.
And they also have,
oh
oh my
I would
where you
help
can stay
with
overnight. They have
accommodations.
lodging. There we go. Oh my goodness.
I was like, I would help you, but I don't know where you're trying
Don't know
to
where I'm
say.
going with that. Okay, and then Lost Creek Vineyard, which is down 94, a little ways out of town, but very
Worth the drive.
secluded and beautiful. So you can. Theirs is mostly outside, but they have a tent that goes along with their packages, a dance floor, and stage. So that'll be a nice outside wedding.
Right. And I'm not sure as far as how many people that they can hold. I think with it being outdoor, you can have quite a few.
Yeah, 150 people I have.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good amount depending on what you're going for. One that is near and dear to me, I guess, is Valentine Hall, because it's
Why do I not have that on my
a
list?
mile from my house.
Yeah.
And it's an easy drive home at night. But Valentine Hall is going to be strictly reception only. However, you can fit, I don't even know,
like up to 400 people.
And I think maybe even a little bit more than that. If it's nice outside, you can set tables up out on the patio. But it's gorgeous. You don't really have to do too much as far as decorations.
No, not
Put
at
some
all.
stuff on the middle of the tables and you're good to go, because it's beautiful as it is.
There's a large stone fireplace in the middle.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
So you could even have a band in there. They've got plenty of room for all of that. The bar. Oh, I should have mentioned too, with Hermann Hill, and I'm sure some of the other ones too, several of these different places are going to have their own bar.
Right.
And some of them even are going to provide bartenders. So check in if that's something that you would really like Valentine Hall. You provide all the alcohol, and then obviously it's free for your guest. However, like Hermann Hill and maybe some of the other places, depending on what you want, your guest might have to pay.
Right.
So that's literally strictly up to you.
Yeah. Or you pay a portion of the bar tab, and that's like set in stone.
Right.
So.
Right.
And then anything over that, maybe
Right.
your guests pay for.
Right.
All right. Do we want to move on to reception, or do we have another one?
Yeah, that's probably why you didn't have Valentine Hall, because I skipped ahead.
Oh, okay. Whoops. Okay, so another place for a reception is the Bank Bar, which is located on Schiller Street here in town, and they have the bar, and then right across the way from them, which is in the same building, is their venue 115, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And it's really pretty. I really wanted my bridal shower to be there, but it was actually at Valentine Hall, which is fine. It's beautiful. But so you can have a reception there, and they actually can provide some catering, I think.
Well, you can do a rehearsal dinner there as well.
Yes.
The Bank Bar is really nice. And then also, while we're talking about the Bank Bar, so Friday night, if you're coming in on the wine trail, they're going to have live entertainment. And then Saturday night, after the wine trail, you can go there, and they're having like an after the wedding trail, not wine trail.
We're still on the wine trail.
That was last week. But after the wedding trail, you can go there, and Brian Copeland is going to be in concert, so you can go check him out and get yourself a martini. They've got some new really good ones that they're debuting, so check them out for sure.
Absolutely.
But most of these places too that you can have your reception at, you can also do a bridal shower there. So if it's too small for a reception or your rehearsal dinner, check it out for a bridal shower.
Right. Yes. And then we have the Concert Hall and Barrel, which you're probably thinking that's a bar, but they have an upstairs area where it's pretty large, so you could fit a pretty size reception up there.
Yeah, you could fit. Yeah,
and they have a bar up there, so it's pretty cool.
And then the cottage, so that's where the treehouse lodging is. If you've heard of the tree houses that are in Hermann, the cottage is going to be a smaller venue. I would say, what do you think? 15, 20 people max?
Yeah, maybe 50, maybe.
So that's going to be an option for a smaller rehearsal dinner or reception. And I think they even do elopement packages up there too. So if you're wanting just to kind of go off and do it quietly without your whole entire family, that's a good option.
Which is what Nicole might be doing, I hear.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's the 1837 bar. They will actually shut down the bar and have personal parties there. It says it's $2.50 an hour with a maximum of 3 hours, and it can hold 100 people. So it's very nice in there. That's like one of my favorite bars to go to.
That would be a really good option too for like the winter months. If you want to get married or do an elopement here in the wintertime and then go down there. It's for an underground bar. When I think of that, I'm like, smoky, and they don't allow smoking. The atmosphere is beautiful. The walls are lined with stone. It's just a really nice place.
Yeah. There's an area you can put a band or DJ, because they do have live music, which I'm sure they'll probably have live music this coming weekend.
Yeah.
And probably weekends to come. Okay, we talked about the rotunda earlier, so you could do your ceremony there, but you can also do your reception, or one or the other.
Or rehearsal dinner, or your bridal shower.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do whatever you want there, and it's a good, fairly cheap option.
Yeah. Of course, Hermann Hill. So I'm pretty sure Hermann Hill you can do, you can just rent it for your reception. You don't have to do the ceremony there.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go off my list.
Yeah, my list is not as detailed as yours, so.
Okay, the VFW Hall, which is on Highway 100, but it's right across from the fire department, so it's right there in town. So when I say Highway 100, don't freak out. So they're it's small, but it could probably fit 100 people.
Yeah, I would think so, depending on how you set it up.
And they may even cater. You would have to ask them, though. With the volunteers.
Right.
The
Worst House. Will they do a reception there as well?
I think so.
For sure, rehearsal or your rehearsal dinner, they will
reception.
cater.
That's what it said. It said reception.
Yeah, so if you're into the Worst House and you love their different meats and things like that, they do cater for sure, but then they will also possibly do a reception there as well. And that can fit a pretty good amount of people, 100 or so. So,
yeah.
And that's literally right across from the fest hall. So maybe if you're booking the fest hall at Hermann, that's a good option for you.
Yeah.
It's all right there.
Yeah.
So you could walk.
Okay, so we said the fest hall. And then if you're familiar with Fernway, the restaurant, they have this new loft. It's new this year.
Yeah, it's gorgeous up there.
I've never been up there, but I've seen pictures and I want to go.
Yeah. So it literally, they have a whole balcony that is, the Fernway itself is located right on the river. So the balcony looks out and you're overlooking the Missouri River, and it's very pretty. It's not going to be huge. I think 46 people is what they say.
46 people.
But they will do your whole meal and everything. So whether you're going to do your reception there or rehearsal dinner, it's a very nice venue. I've also been to several showers there, baby and bridal.
Okay.
So
yeah, so they can do an array of meetings and
and the food is phenomenal. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm a food junkie, so.
All right. We talked about Stonehill Winery. If you're familiar with the Tin Mill restaurant, which is right across the street from the Fest Hall, so they also do, it says reception.
Yeah, I think you can have different, they have like another room next to the restaurant, and I don't know, I haven't been in there for a while, so don't quote me.
You're right.
But they have it's kind of like a meeting room. That's what I've been in it previous years before, but I'm sure that's where they would have their receptions and rehearsal dinners, things like that.
And it's gorgeous in there. I mean, it's, again, rustic-y feel.
So actually, it's the old granary, right?
Yeah, that's right.
From back in years past, and they restored it. So even like the old grain elevator and all that stuff is still on the inside of it, and you can look at all of that, whether you're going to eat there or having an event.
Yep. Okay, Uncolor Wine Bar on 4th Street will do ceremonies and receptions. It will be a smaller group of people, but they are willing to do that for you, and it's a pretty neat place.
Yeah, it is. I haven't been in there, though. I've heard it's really cool, though.
Yeah.
And then one we didn't cover, too, Alpenhorn. They will do, Alpenhorn Guest House will do ceremony in their wine cellar. They will do a reception, and then I think they'll do rehearsal dinner too. That's going to be like 15 to 20 max. Their venue up there is pretty small, but it's very quiet and intimate. And then they do your ceremony would be down in the wine cellar. So
that'd be cool.
That's really pretty.
Okay, so next on your tab in your book that we talked about earlier is the rehearsal dinner. So spots in town that will do rehearsals. Maybe that we haven't already talked about. So Alpenhorn, we just talked about. The Bank Bar and their venue 115. The Concert Hall and Barrel, they're upstairs like we talked about. Harvest Table,
yeah.
Which is on 4th Street, right next to Wings Ablazing. If you're familiar with Wings Ablazing, they will do your rehearsal dinner.
And they have like more organic-y type food. So if you're really into that good, wholesome food, yes.
Yeah.
You can find that at the Harvest Table. Even if you're just coming to Hermann to eat, check out the Harvest Table.
Right. 1837 Bar, you can have your rehearsal dinner there, but I don't think they don't necessarily make the food.
Right.
You'd have to get it catered. The Rotunda, so again, you can rent the Rotunda for almost anything. The Worst House, so they will cook for you. Fernway, which they will also have their own food. Oak Glen Winery. Okay, so they newly have a upstairs in the winery, because otherwise the winery is it's pretty small.
Really small, yeah.
It's the tasting room, but they have their huge pavilion and the outdoor seating, which is also overlooking the Missouri River. It's a beautiful scenery. If you haven't been to Oak Glen Winery, you need to go.
You have to go just for the ambiance of it.
Yes. So you can have your reception up there, or I'm sorry, your rehearsal dinner.
The Vintage at Stonehill. That's going to be Stonehill's Restaurant. They will do your rehearsal dinner as well, and that's going to be, they're going to cater it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I want to say party size probably couldn't be huge on that one.
Not large, maybe 50 people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
And then, of course, the Tin Mill Restaurant and Valentine Hall, like we talked about in Starkenburg.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, you're doing so good, Ashton. You're so good at these note taking.
I love weddings.
I'm a
Okay.
slacker. Okay.
So my next tab.
I do have a catering tab, though. You should be proud of me.
Okay, you're good. You got it.
All right.
Okay,
So this is going to be people that you can physically call to cater no matter where you plan on having your rehearsal dinner.
Right. So the Harvest Table on 4th Street, they will cater. Like we said, it's more organic, homegrown,
really good
food. Hermann Catering, which is a local woman, well, 2 local women go in together on this, and their food is amazing.
It is, yes.
This is who catered my wedding.
And they are very reasonable on their pricing.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say, when I went back through my book and I looked at my pricing, it was $9.25 a person for 200 people and over. So that's
really good.
Really good pricing.
If you're wanting to feed a large crowd,
Yes.
Hermann Catering is going to be very, very good food at a very reasonable rate.
And they will, they'll serve it to you in like a buffet type style setting. The Hermann Wurst House will also cater, which would be delicious.
Yes.
So,
if you like your worst.
right.
And then Swiss Meats also. So both of those are going to be very good options in the Hermann area.
Yeah. And then, do you want to touch on?
Yes. So Trailside Bar and Grill, you may have known if you're in the area that they have recently sold. The new owners are now turning it into the Corner, which is what it used to be when I was a kid.
I still call it the Corner.
Yeah, I do too, a little bit.
We could tell you the backstory on the Corner, but it might take a while.
Yes, they're located in Rhineland, but they are going to be restaurant, bar, and catering, which Trailside did catering before, so they're kind of just taking it over. But they will be open, I think, mid-March, something like that, and they already have several listings on their books, but they are going to be a very good option for catering in the Hermann area as well.
Yeah. Glenda says Swiss Meats was awesome for us. Best all over. I agree, Glenda. They did my rehearsal dinner, so they were really good.
Yeah.
But that's it for catering that we know of. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to probably find somebody in your area that would be willing to come to Hermann.
Well, and I'm thinking, too, that if you go on the wedding trail, there's probably going to be a few different options for you to sample along the way.
Absolutely.
And talk to. So check the wedding trail out if you don't have plans. That's Saturday, the 23rd.
Yeah, come stay.
Yes.
Okay. Flowers. We're all on the same page. Okay. Flowers.
It's always a good thing when we're on the same page.
So first and foremost, we have Terra Flora, which, so Lucy and Tara are the owners of this, and so they are the only florist, actual florist in town since Crystal closed her business down, but they do an amazing job. So when I had my wedding out at Little Piney, Lucy brought all the flowers out there. She made sure that they were, put in the refrigerator to be cooled because we had a May wedding, and she just did an amazing job.
They go through like hoops to make your flowers and your arrangements absolutely what you want.
Okay, I have to tell you a little story. I went a little crazy on flowers, and then I brought Wes the like the itemized bill that we were going to have to pay, and Wes said, no way in heck are we spending that much money. So I took it back to Lucy and said, Lucy, we got to cut this down, and she helped me, but my flowers were still not exactly what I wanted, but what I originally wanted, but they turned out amazing.
Was beautiful, yeah. The whole array of flowers was gorgeous.
Yes. But then, so there's also the option of Creekside Nursery, which is located on, what highway is that?
It's 100.
100 towards the high school and middle school. And she's... Rhonda. She's done our friend's wedding. She's done a phenomenal job as well.
Yeah. So that's going to be typically like a nursery, more of a nursery style setting. So you'll have to call her because obviously like this time of the year,
Right.
They are not open all the time.
Right.
So if you would like to look into pricing with her, give Rhonda a call. She's a great option. She does a really good job. She's got all the same resources as Terra Flora would. It's just
Right. She does more like landscaping and things like that.
Right.
But she does do wedding flowers.
Yep. All right, moving right along. I don't have this on my list, so go for it.
Well, this was the only DJ that I know that we have in town, but it's a local person named Alex Helt. His business name is Nexus, and he does a phenomenal job as well. He did our wedding. He will do everything from getting the people up to do the line for food to telling them what's going on next. We're going to be doing the flower toss. We're going to be doing the first dance. I mean...
And in my personal opinion, who you have for your DJ is very important at a reception because they can either make your reception go flawless,
right,
or they can not be paying attention to detail and make it not so flawless.
And Nicole and I love to be out on the dance floor, so having a DJ that will get people up and moving and just interacting with you and having fun is huge in our opinion.
Yeah, Alex does a really good job of that. So if you haven't booked a DJ yet, talk to Alex. I'm sure his calendar is filling up very quickly for 2019, so maybe get on that. Hair and makeup, my favorite. That was sarcasm, guys.
Nicole's a little bit of a tomboy.
A little bit, yeah.
So there's a few salons here in town that will be willing to come out to venues, or you go to their salon and get your hair and makeup done. So there's Tangles.
Tangles, yes.
Tangles,
it's a really nice place. And also with most of these places too, so if you're getting ready there and you have your hair appointment and you want your makeup to come in, maybe it's an outside vendor, they can come in, most of these, to the salon and work side by side with your hairstylist to get the whole look done that day. Tangles, I don't know about the rest of them, but Tangles also does spray tanning in Hermann.
Impressions has tanning beds. I'm not sure if they do spray tans or not. We'd have to ask Sherry. Sherry's the owner.
But if that's something you want to do and you want to do it all in Hermann, Tangles is a good option for that.
Tangles also does nails, but you wouldn't be able to do like a big party.
Right.
If you did, it'd be kind of like back to back. You wouldn't be able to do it all together.
Don't save that for the day of your wedding.
No, don't do it, girls. So we talked about Impressions, which is owned by Sherry, and then there's Headhunters.
I don't know half of this, so...
I know Headhunters has come out to Hermann Hill, but I'm sure that they will go anywhere also, or you can go to them. Tangles also does makeup. I know Mackenzie does makeup, but if you want like an airbrushed look, I had to get somebody from the Washington area, which but she will come, and her name's Christine Newton if you need to know her name. Okay, let's just move on.
Okay. I don't have all of this either. Such a slacker today.
So these will be places that are also on the wedding trail, probably at the different venues. So I have, this tab is called Cake, Donut Wall, Candy, and Pie Bar.
This would be more my style.
Okay, you can talk about
sweets. No, I don't want to talk about all of it. But my favorite is going to be, my pick for everything, just because I'm partial to Laura, but Sugar and Spice Laura's Delights in Montgomery City, which is just like 15-20 minutes outside of town. They're a full-line bakery, but they do cakes. Her wedding cakes are absolutely amazing. You can really go in, do a tasting, get whatever flavor you want. She does the fondant. She can just do any kind of, you show her a picture and she will replicate it, and it will be even better than the picture. She'll do cupcakes, she'll do a pie bar, she'll do whatever you want, and it's going to be fabulous, and it's all at a reasonable price. So if you're looking for a mixture of cake, cupcakes, and different arrays, any kind of desserts, that's where I would recommend.
And then I don't know too much about this lady either, but it's All About Cakes, which is also in Montgomery City. So she can, I'm sure, do just about anything as well. But I wanted to mention, if you're coming down like Interstate 70 into Hermann, so you could, stop into Montgomery City, do your cake tasting and get that all arranged, and then head back down Highway 19 and head to Hermann.
Right.
So Montgomery City's on Highway 19, and it's just a little farther, so then you'll head back to Hermann.
So you can do it all and plan your wedding in one day.
Right.
Yeah, right. I wish it was that easy.
We have a local bakery in town called Batticoletti's Bakery, and it's a local favorite. We won't go anywhere else.
Yes, it's amazing.
So if you wanted to do like a donut bar or something like that, they would be my number one pick.
Donut bar, or if you want breakfast for opening presents, if you want to just go grab a donut before,
or donuts for
you get
getting
your day started.
Day of, absolutely.
Batticoletti's, that's a place to go. For sure.
And then if you want to do like a candy or pie bar, there's Sugar Mama's, which she has an array of any kind of candy that you would want.
Yeah, and the bacon apple pie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She has an array of pies as well. Kind of going back to, I wanted to mention, like, if you're going to feed your people during the day, which you definitely should. You don't want to go hungry and then go drink a bunch. But so we have Subway in town, and they can, get you some sandwiches lined up for lunch, or...
Well, they'll do, like, the huge, I don't even know how big they are, but they feed, like, I don't know, 40-some people with one sandwich.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a reasonable option, and you just go pick it up, and everyone can kind of help themselves.
So just know that we do have a Subway. It's one of two
fast food type
fast
restaurants.
food places we have in town.
That's okay, though. And then as far as dresses, so if you want to come into town and you want to shop for a dress, Ada James Collection is going to be just outside of Hermann, more towards Ryland. They have a warehouse, so Katie can they have wedding gowns, they have mother of the bride dresses, they have bridesmaid dresses, really anything you're looking for. If you haven't found the perfect dress yet, or you just started looking, whatever the case may be, check out Ada James Collection, because I promote shopping local, so that's a good spot. And it's kind of off the beaten path, so a lot of people don't know about it, but that's a good one if you're
So that's about all I have for at least local here in town venues and vendors that we have.
Right.
But if there's something I'm sure we're forgetting, because there's so many details to a wedding, reach out to us, reach out to a venue on the wedding trail this Saturday, 11 to 3:30, and they will be happy to answer any of your questions. Right.
And if you've used any of the vendors that we've talked about, maybe you should send us a recommendation. So post in the comments, you had a really great experience with so-and-so, or whoever did a phenomenal job on your rehearsal dinner. You found your favorite wedding dress at this place, or just kind of help out the brides that are maybe just getting started and don't know where to look, because I'm going to be downright honest with you, as somebody who's engaged and has been engaged for a while and has not started planning a wedding, it's a little bit daunting. Like, every time I think about planning a wedding, I kind of have a panic attack. Because it's just a lot. So if you know somebody that just got engaged, or is going through the motions of planning a wedding, the wedding trail is a great place to start. Share the video and check out some of the venues. We're going to tag everybody that we talked about in the comments. So you can literally just click on the link and go right to their Facebook page, maybe send them a message, let them know that you saw us on here, and they will be happy to help you with whatever they can.
Yeah. So if you know of somebody that's getting married or is considering Hermann, why don't you tag them in this video, share this video.
Maybe they're not considering Hermann, but they would after you tell them how amazing Hermann is for weddings. We have so many options here that I feel like a lot of people don't even know about. So make sure you're spreading the word and sharing the wealth of knowledge about weddings.
Because we love Hermann.
You're crazy.
I didn't drink before this, I swear, and I said I was going to because I was going to be so nervous.
I think we wouldn't be nervous anymore. How many videos have we done so
I
far?
think this is our 5th video.
And probably the longest, so we apologize about that. But
okay,
we better get off here because we have a meeting we gotta go to.
We're gonna wrap it up.
We'll talk to you guys next Wednesday, and it's gonna be a surprise what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know yet.
We'll think about it. We'll let you know.
Tell us what you want to see.
Give us reviews on these places. Tag people. Just see us next week.
Bye, guys.
See ya.